Hey, M, is the lizard dead? He said it would be 5 minutes, but he doesn't even breathe.
Huh. Seems pretty dead to me.
You are so painfully clueless about every damn thing in this world. I enjoy this. Lean back. Listen to the choirs of the great Juru forest. And keep your eyes open, kid. This place is full of riddles, and some of them have already noticed you.
Exactly 5 minutes after his dramatic pill stunt, the mad lizard Garpet Bill finally woke up on his own. Still drowsy, he began licking his elbows and armpits and stretched his legs. Rhy Shen watched him, equally disgusted and awed.
What the hell was that, lizard?
Garpet shrugged his shoulders and shook the fog from his brain.
I told you, it was the 9 lives Ghostfang death pill. The good old family recipe. Haven't taken yours yet? How do you expect to get to the Twin Capital if you're such a coward? There is no slipping through the gates for cowards these days.
He studied Rhy Shen with one eyelid half closed, as if evaluating a painting.
You think I tricked you with your pill, huh?
He probably did.
Trust me, man. If there's one thing you can trust the Bills with, it's pills. The Bills pills have the best quality.
He clicked his tongue with that infuriating precision and rolled over his newly rounded back, where his tail was missing now. Ugh.
If we're lucky, we make it to the Twin Capital without running into any monsters. From this side of the ever-dry beach, there's only one entrance to the Twin Capital during the wave. We gotta go to Western Mizar. Come on, help me up. I said help me up.
I can't. See?
Yeah, thanks for nothing here, I guess. Where do you even come from, man?
I came from the Black March Forest?
Keeping his connection to the guild a secret from this sneaky lizard seemed natural, even after only a week of living in this world.
I haven't seen very much in my short life, but I know a liar when I see one, man. No bad feelings. I bet you're one of those rift monsters. Thus, an arrival.
Yeah, something like that, I guess.
Seems that there are more of you every day. Good for business. So, this is your first time in Mizar? You'll see, the Juru here are made of sterner stuff than those hillbillies in the south.
They reached the city walls around midnight, when the green moon stood high. Rhy Shen noticed how its light stirred the blossoms of every flower it touched, as if it were daylight. Even the giant trees growing from the city walls seemed to bow their crowns toward the moon, their branches veined by a living nexus of blooming twiners. As they neared the gates, Garpet slowed his pace and held Rhy Shen back with his stubby little arms.
Now it's really time for you to take your pill, wobbly human. Give it back if you don't want it.
Too late. One of the guards had already spotted them and was marching over with murderous purpose.
You! Stop right there! If you're not immortal, this is your last chance to piss off!
Garpet leaned in close to Rhy Shen, his eyes suddenly empty and distant.
I warned you, human.
The guard didn't bother with questions. He drew a heavy hammer quickened his pace, and swung.
Die!
No!
Rhy Shen stepped forward and shielded the bill lizard on instinct. But the weapon passed straight through him, as if he was smoke. It crashed into the lizard's forehead. The lizard man made a short grunt. Then he collapsed. The guard was as shocked as Rhy Shen himself. He stared at the flickering ghost boy in disbelief.
What the heck? My hammer didn't even touch you. What in the hell are you?
Before Rhy Shen could even begin to grasp the question, the unbreakable Garpet moved. With a groan, he sat up, wrapped his fingers around the handle of the Juru hammer, and yanked it free. Whoa. No blood dribbled from the hole it had left in his skull. Then the scratch closed and left nothing but a flat scar. The miraculous Garpet got to his feet, once again, and dusted himself off.
Cheh, looting my tail was much harder than this. You have your proof, man. Now stop wasting our time, please.
He tapped onto his wrist as if he wore a watch. Very sophisticated.
We have more important things to do than dying, pal.
The Mizar guard was not pleased at all.
Oh, you Bill bastards may get through these gates with your cheap tricks, but don't think that you can fool me, lizard.
Garpet smiled and let his golden fake fang twinkle in the twilight of the torches nearby.
I don't care about your opinion. Rules are rules, right? We'll pass.
The guard's face twisted into a grim scowl.
Come back here. We're not done yet.
But his words didn't land anywhere.
Oh, we are. There. You tested it.
He gave a small nod toward the hammer that had just caved in his skull.
You swung with everything you had, remember?
He leaned forward, forcing the Juru guard to stoop down to catch his words.
And what did it change?
I can still.
Do your job? I told you. We'll pass.
A thin smile spread across Garpet's wide jaws.
This lizard has it right. And the guard? All he can do is scream up the chain. Isn't that just adorable?
The big-mouthed lizard left Rhy Shen genuinely impressed with its brazen audacity. He moved as if he knew every unwritten rule of the city and exactly how to bend them. As Rhy Shen followed the small figure through the gates, he felt the icy gaze of the stunned guard burning into their backs.
Aging really doesn't make those people wiser.
Garpet tugged on Rhy Shen's arm and leaned in close.
You still owe me that other pill.
Rhy Shen passed through the gates at the edge of the eastern city, awestruck. Taking in Mizar was worth a moment. The streets stacked in multiple tiers, forming a chaotic three-dimensional maze of routes, some glowing faintly with bioluminescence, others thick and gnarled like living stone. Buildings leaned into one another, braided arches and root bridges connecting levels in impossible patterns. The acrid stench of blood and roasting meat filled the air, and smoke rose from every corner. The whole city pulsed like a beast, daring anyone who entered to keep pace, or be swallowed by it.
So, arrival. What are your plans here in Mizar, eh?
The lizard watched him with one eye, while they slowly stepped through the crowd. Rhy Shen lowered his voice and buckled his back to get closer to Garpet's ear.
I am looking for something.
Everybody's looking for something in Mizar. It's a magnet for lost souls like you and me. The question is, do you know what your something is?
Slightly embarrassed, Rhy Shen rolled his eyes sideways.
That's none of your business, lizard.
Oh, I understand. In that case, we have the same destination. Let's head to the Lucky Bastard.
Lucky who?
Man, is this your first time here? Just follow.
Quick as a weasel, Garpet darted through the crowd, still unsteady from his lost tail. The people here were nothing like the Juru in the melting village. Most wore furs, bone jewelry, and carried sharpened weapons. Their clothing was practical, built for hunting and killing, not for comfort or ceremony. It dawned on Rhy Shen that Lumen must have visited this city many times, as her clothing differed from the fashion of the melting village in the same way.
Ah!
A sharp blade literally cut through Rhy Shen's head and erased his thoughts.
Someone is still trying to kill us!
Ha! Don't get distracted by the knife throwers. It's just a sport here. Just take the knife and throw it at someone else.
The lizardman led the way up a twisting route, casting a sidelong glance at a merchant hawking live frogs in baskets for whatever purpose. The route grew thinner and thinner until it finally forced the two of them to stop. Mizar's skyline writhed upward like a restless vine, yearning for the green moon's strange light.
This path leads nowhere, lizard. What are you doing?
Garpet looked at Rhy Shen, as if he was a child asking why water is wet. M let out a loud belly laugh at his end of their connection, unable to restrain himself any longer.
Oh, kid. You're making a fool of yourself in front of a bill. How pathetic. Imagine this if you can. Not every door is horizontal. Look up.
Rhy Shen lifted his head and dropped to his knees to avoid falling backward into the rough street crowd beneath them. There it was, the entrance to the Lucky Bastard.
The lizard knows a lot for someone with a brain as small as a nut. If you are looking for answers or questions, the Lucky Bastard is the place to be.
The tavern was formed like a wasp nest, with a broad opening facing downwards, right above the single route Rhy Shen stood upon. The entrance loomed ahead, guarded by a gleaming spike lance that shot up from above without warning. A harsh voice rang out from within.
Who is daring entrance?
Garpet leaned casually on the edge of the opening, unfazed.
Hello there. Name is Garpet Bill.
Two tiny, red-glowing eyes lurked over the edge of the entrance. The voice echoed.
You're banned from the house! Piss off!
That must have been one of my cousins. He's long dead. I am not anything like him. Don't you remember me and my friend here?
You gave a quick nod to Rhy Shen. After an inconveniently long pause, M muttered in his ear,
Say your name, kid.
Rhy Shen.
He could only stammer the words.
All right, lizard. You know the game. You need to give me a really good secret to get in. Tell me something I didn't know before.
Pah! One shabby secret? No problem for us.
Garpet gave way for Rhy Shen to answer. Still on his knees, Rhy Shen gave it a shot, according to the rules of this world he had learned up to this point.
Well, have you heard of, the divine beast Qilin? It really exists. I have seen it.
The doorman's face appeared for the briefest moment. His eyes were flat, assessing, as though he had already filed Rhy Shen away.
Heard that one before. Next.
Garpet made a slurpy sound with his tongue, grinning slyly at Rhy Shen. He leaned close and whispered,
The thing is, this doorman knows everything. Your best chance to get in is to tell a convenient lie.
He slithered boldly with his tongue and raised his voice.
Hey, Red Eye, look at my friend closely. Does he look normal to you? Huh? Lively? Huh? No, I swear to you, he is a real ghost.
The red eyes narrowed, piercing straight into Rhy Shen. A strange chill ran up his neck, and for a fleeting heartbeat, he almost wondered if he truly was a ghost. Perhaps it wasn't even a joke anymore.
I don't believe you.
The spike lance twitched and recoiled slightly, but its tip passed through Rhy Shen's body like a wisp of smoke, causing no harm, yet leaving a lingering, icy sensation. Garpet drew a small knife from his sleeve and attempted to slash Rhy Shen a few times to make a point.
Haha, see for yourself. A real ghost.
Okay, asshole. He saw it.
A tense silence followed. The red eyes blinked once, twice, and the voice muttered, almost begrudgingly,
Clever enough. Climb in then.
The hatch slammed shut. Heavy bolts groaned, before the door finally swung open. A rope ladder unfurled from the gap with a dry hiss, swaying like a noose. Garpet caught it, winking at Rhy Shen.
See? Told ya. Sometimes the truth isn't nearly as useful as a little charm. Come on in. I think you will really like this place.